Welcome back to Alpine Garage Sports. I am Chris and you're in the garage with me today. So today we're talking about X's and O's. So you may have seen this come across the wire, but Juwan Johnson, who is a 2024 prospect, signed with Colorado today. Now there's a lot of significance to this, and then there's also some stuff that's not significant, so we'll talk about that. First, the significance. So he is a 2024 recruit. He will not be coming in for this first season of Prime. He will be here for the second season of Prime. So he's coming a year from now. He's a junior in high school. And for those of you who don't really watch college football, or I should say, don't follow the recruiting side of college football now until Prime kind of turned everyone onto it, or turned a lot of people onto it, then what happens is these kids a lot of times get recruited even before high school. And I've even heard of kids getting recruited while they're in Pee-wees, meaning that the coaches follow them, their recruiters follow them because they know there's something special there. And typically when that happens, they get additional coaching, and that coaching turns out to make them better football players. And so therefore, everything kind of blows up. And that's the case with Juwan Johnson. He is a football phenom, and he's a 4-star recruit. And he's only a junior. In fact, he's the number 4 recruit in Louisiana total, and the 28th in the nation, being a junior in high school. So this is a pretty significant pickup for Prime, because we know that this year we're putting it together with transfer portal folks. And we have an awesome team where I think we're going to be competitive out of the gate. I think everyone thinks that. Well, no, I don't think everybody thinks that. I think a lot of us think that. But now that we're starting to groom the 24, 25, 26, 27 recruits, that is when it really starts to turn on. But you go from putting together a team pretty quickly to planning multiple years as to how your scheme is going to work. And you know, planning one football season is hard enough, but I think we have the skill to where these coaches are actually going to be planning for years on these players coming in. I can see position boards right now for 24, position board for 25, position board for 26. Those coaches are really investing a lot in that. Now let's get back to Juwan. So he is 5'11", 178 pounds. So as a football player, he doesn't sound very big. He's a quarterback for Lafayette Christian Academy, which notably beat Arch Manning a year ago, not last year, but a year ago in the state finals, where Juwan just rained down on Arch Manning for like 46-7 or 48-7, something like that. And when you watch the highlights of Juwan during that game, he was only a sophomore at the time. This is a sophomore in high school who is basically just drumming the highest touted quarterback out of high school since Peyton Manning. And this is just incredible as a sophomore. And at 5'11", 178 pounds, you don't think a quarterback in high school is going to be a quarterback in college, and that may be the case. Now, he will fill out, he will gain another couple of inches, and he will gain some weight. He fits in some other position at Colorado. And a lot of people are kind of pegging him to be the next defensive back for Colorado, which is very possible. He's played a lot of position. He obviously is primarily a quarterback. He played receiver, he played returner. He also played on the defense some as well. So he could be the replacement for Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter will be leaving in a year or two, and we need someone that can take his place. Cormani is coming in this year and will be here for 3 years if he doesn't transfer. So, and of course he's not going to transfer. Who would transfer from Coach Prime unless they're just not getting playing time? So we could have the backfield, the dream backfield we have this year. We might actually have that for 4 years, could be. I mean, we could write our destiny just with these pickups in high school. Now, I personally don't feel like maybe he fits in best as defensive back right now. And this is just, you know, hey, I got my pen and I'm like, hey, you know, where would he best fit? The way that this guy runs, and the fact that he can throw the ball, and the fact that he knows an offensive scheme extremely well, and in the way that our offense is going to run, which is somewhat pro-style likely, where we're going to be throwing the ball a lot, he could run screens like nobody's business. He could do flags out into the flat, and he could beat everyone off the line with no problem whatsoever. I can see us putting him as a running back or as a receiver and running those types of routes and being very successful in it. Now, likely he won't be put in that, but I'm just going to say that that's where I think he would best fit. So Now, 2024 is going to come in a year, and that's going to change a lot. He may decide that he wants to play a different position. We may decide that we want him in a different position, and he may just be pegged for cornerback. We are continuing to sign very high 2024 prospects, and that's going to make that year, I'm not even going to say better than this year, but it's definitely, I think it could be better than this year. So if we're studs this year, we're going to be stellar in the following years because of all of these really great pickups. And then there's a couple of other notes. So he also runs track, so we know he's fast, right? But one of the bigger ones is that he was actually being recruited by LSU, Florida. He was being recruited by a lot of schools, but he was only considering LSU, Florida, and then Colorado was kind of a late candidate, I guess, in there. Most people thought he was going to go to LSU because that's his home school and because they have Brian Kelly, and it's going to be a really good fit for him there. But that's where Coach Prime comes in, and where normally a school would not be able to get a Juwan Johnson, we are able to get a Juwan Johnson. And I can only imagine how excited that young man is that he gets to visit Prime over the next year and a half and start building this relationship before he ever hits the field. I can't even believe that. Could you believe that? A year and a half he gets to establish this relationship before he ever gets to school. Incredible. I think this is an outstanding, you see it from everybody. Hey, big deal, big deal, big deal, big deal. I really think this is a big deal. You could literally put him anywhere on the field and he would probably make an impact. He might even fill out and become a great quarterback in college too. Who knows at this point? We just don't know these things. We are just people that sit behind a camera and pretend like we know what we're talking about so that you get all excited about it. And I hope you did. So if you did, please subscribe to our channel. We're going to be putting out a lot of content on X's and O's like we're doing today. And then we're also going to be doing a lot of culture content for the University of Colorado and Prime. We're, I would say, really closely connected from the standpoint I don't know Prime, but I know the school intimately, and we're in the region, and we know the area, and we know the football, and we're super excited. I honestly don't think there is a single person on this planet that is excited as I am about this season at Colorado. And if you don't understand, go back and look at my previous videos and you'll get a hint. That's a wrap from Alpine Garage. Please subscribe. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you're about. I will respond to every single comment, and I appreciate every one of you. And by the way, ATL, you're still in the lead.